I'm here with Mr. Jerry Riggins III, and today I'm here to discuss race and ethnicity in today's America. How you doing today, Mr.
I'm
Jerry
doing
Riggins
all right.
III?
I'm doing all right.
All right, my name is Anthony Lighton, and I'm here to conduct a little interview in regards to this topic that I've chosen today. And if you don't mind, if you would give me a little feedback on some of your thoughts about this topic that I've chosen for my history project on today. And I think that you're a good fit for this. So if you just be comfortable, be calm, and we're just going to head and get right along into these questions and just answer the best way you can.
Okay.
All right. So do you think there are some racial and ethnic problems in the country?
Definitely. There are definitely evident problems of race in the country. First and foremost, how we are treated by the police officers and law enforcement, how a Caucasian and an African American person can commit the same crime, but of course the African American person would be charged more for the same crime, and the Caucasian person can, I don't want to say it's not every person, but it's definitely a problem on how they can commit the same crime, and there is a more harsh punishment towards the African American.
Okay. Do you think the government has, as a whole, have the best interest in heart for minorities, and why?
Not at all. Plainly speaking, it goes back to ancestral days when we were brought via the Middle Passage. We were kidnapped and stolen and then sold into slavery. So it's historical that the government really does not have the best interest at heart for minorities, specifically the African American as well as the Latin Americans as well. You can see they aren't really trying as well as I think they could, as far as trying to get us employed, as trying to find us better educational opportunities, etc.
Okay. Are you aware of the recent brutality displayed by federal officers that's going on?
Definitely. The most recent thing I really think of is today, actually. The police officer involved in the Philando Castile incident, the officer was sentenced to he was convicted of second-degree manslaughter, so I'm definitely aware of the recent police brutalities.
Okay, and what do you think the police brutality stems from?
What do you think police brutality stems from?
Yes.
May seem a bit ludicrous, but I might just have to say white supremacy. And race as well. I think they want us to feel inferior and to be submissive of them, and when we don't, that causes an issue or just ignorance. I'm not really sure, but that's the best thing I can think of.
And which race has been affected more by inequality, and why? Which race do you think has been affected more by equality?
As much as I want to say the African Americans, I don't think that'll be true. I think I would say the Latin American community, they are impacted the most because though there are few of them that are immigrants, they do bring labor and are willing to work for us and for our companies, and they don't get any opportunities as far as employment, as far as citizenship. I think they are affected the most and treated badly, more so than African Americans.
Okay. Do you think the economy works the way it's said to work for every working American? Do you think that's true? Do you?
I don't think it works. I don't think it's working the way they say it is supposed to work. Because how I feel it should work is you should pay taxes according to how much you make, and the less money you make, the less taxes that you have to make, and the more money you make, the more taxes that you have to. The less taxes you have to pay, and the more money you make, the more taxes that you have to pay. And I don't think that's working, because it just seems like the poor are getting more poor and the richer are getting richer, and so I don't think it's working. And they say trickle down economy, but that honestly that's not working, and it's not working the way they say it's supposed to be working.
Okay. What is the difference between recession and depression?
Recession and depression. Of course. Well, regular recession is the actual process of losing, the losing of value, and I think the depression is actually kind of like the lowest point.
Do you think we're still pretty much in those kind of recession and depression fixes and holes that we're still trying to get out of as a economy?
I don't think so. I think it's growing a little bit. I think it's growing, but just by a slow and steady pace. I think it's, well, actually, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but I would a wild guess, I would say that the economy is slowly recovering and slowly becoming a lot better. We're seeing lots of low gas prices, so that's usually a good sign.
Okay. So what has America done to improve racial inequality? What do you think America has done to improve that?
Honestly, I don't think they've done anything to actually improve upon it, but they've been putting in a lot of work of trying to hide the situation, trying to cover up that racism is an issue in this country. Case in point, there was a study that showed the salary of several comedians in Hollywood who are on various shows, and they showed the salaries of Caucasians and the salaries of African Americans, and they, in the margin of where they make is ridiculous. They've named several Caucasian actors of shows that I've never even heard of before, and they're making $500,000 to $750,000 per episode. And I'm not a really big fan of the show, so I don't know her name, but the actress, the number one actress who plays Cookie on the show Empire, she makes just $250,000. That's the number one watch show, and she's only making $250,000, where of her Caucasian counterpoints of shows that I've never even heard of before, they're making $500,000 or $750,000 per episode. So
wow.
I don't think they do a lot of covering up. They say, okay, well, we'll have our black, we'll show the black actresses just to shut them up per se, but you can definitely tell how much they make, that there's still an issue, and they haven't really done anything to try to really fix the problem, which kind of goes back to a problem existing in the first place.
Okay. Great response. Since Obama's first year in office, do you think racial issues have gotten better, or do you think they have gotten worse?
I don't think the racial issues and other stuff have gotten worse or better. I think it's just becoming. Well, I would have to say off top, I would have to say they've gotten worse due to the the recent police brutalities. But I don't think they've gotten worse. I think it's just becoming more known. The technology have changed. I think the racism and the inequality has always been there. It's just the technology has changed, and we can see it now. So.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much what I have today, and that concludes our topic and brief discussion on inequality and race and ethnicity in today's America. I appreciate your time,
No
Mr.
problem.
Jerry Riggins III, and hopefully I get to interview you again.
All right.
All right. Thank you.